Welcome to Cozy Corners Studio, where timeless Scandinavian charm meets vintage elegance. In today's video, we'll explore a beautifully curated home filled with warmth, textures, and refined simplicity. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments to stay inspired by our home decoration journey. The exterior presents a Scandinavian-inspired home with a timeless touch of vintage elegance. Pale timber cladding pairs with weathered sage shutters, softened by terracotta pots brimming with herbs along the gravel path. Warm golden light streams from large windows, giving the facade a welcoming, lived-in glow that feels refined yet approachable. Stepping inside, the entryway reveals pale wood floors and linen-painted walls illuminated by a vintage brass pendant. An oak bench draped with a knitted throw rests nearby, complemented by woven baskets for storage. Natural light spills through a window, highlighting subtle grains of wood and delicate aged patinas on rustic hooks. The living room opens in airy sophistication with a gray linen sofa paired with a vintage trunk serving as a coffee table. A large mirror framed in aged gilt reflects afternoon light across a gallery of minimalist artwork. Textured wool rugs and wicker details bring depth to the neutral palette. By the fireplace, serenity radiates from smooth stucco surfaces crowned with vintage candlesticks and earthenware vessels. Stacked firewood below introduces rhythm and warmth, while a tweed-upholstered chair angled toward glowing flames creates a cozy vignette. Beams above cast soft shadows, lending the monochrome setting a dynamic, timeless atmosphere of understated elegance. In the dining area, a farmhouse-style table with slender Scandinavian legs rests under linen pendant lamps. Oak spindle chairs encircle it, softened by ivory sheepskins. The tabletop glows with stoneware dishes and hand-blown glass that glimmers in candlelight, forming a scene that feels convivial yet rooted in modern refinement and balance. The kitchen embodies charm and functionality, with muted blue cabinetry complemented by marble counters and brass handles. Open shelves display enamelware and jars of grains that sparkle like prisms in daylight. Polished wooden cutting boards lean against tiled walls, grounding the bright space with warmth and tactile beauty. A breakfast nook nestles by the window, where a petite bistro table is paired with chalky white bentwood chairs. Linen cafe curtains diffuse sunlight, scattering patterns on the floor. On the table, a wildflower bouquet in a ceramic pitcher adds countryside poetry, seamlessly blending Scandinavian simplicity with nostalgic vintage charm. The hallway stretches with grace, its oak flooring warmed by a faded indigo runner. Skylights beam soft light across clean lines, while matte black sconces provide rhythm to the walls. Botanical sketches framed simply in black punctuate the corridor, adding an artistic whisper of history to the contemporary flow. The study invites focused calm, with a pale pine desk complemented by a weathered leather chair. Reclaimed wood shelving holds linen-bound books and textured ceramics, balancing utility with artistry. A brass swing lamp arcs gracefully, illuminating parchment-toned stationery and casting gentle highlights on the natural surfaces throughout the room. The guest room radiates quiet charm, with a wrought iron bed dressed in crisp linens and muted floral quilts. A pale sage dresser anchors the space, topped with a softly rippled round mirror. Light filters through gauzy curtains, wrapping the room in a dreamy stillness that feels both fresh and timeless. The master bedroom embraces serenity with ash wood framing a bed dressed in flax linen bedding. A vintage kilim rug adds warmth, while a woven tapestry above the headboard brings tactile depth. Sunlight paints gentle gradients across plaster walls, infusing the space with a cocoon-like atmosphere of tranquility and intimacy. The dressing area blends beauty with order, featuring open wardrobes of pale birch filled with folded linens and woven baskets. A honey oak vanity paired with a rattan stool sits beneath a skylight, catching daylight across polished brass accents. The uncluttered setting offers refinement wrapped in comforting simplicity. The bathroom feels like a sanctuary, its terrazzo flooring complementing walls lined with matte white tile. A freestanding tub glows beneath a framed oak window, flanked by gleaming brass fixtures. A ladder-style towel rack holds soft linens, completing a palette that balances crisp minimalism with vintage sophistication. The children's room celebrates quiet joy, with pastel-painted walls framing natural wood furnishings. A Scandinavian bunk bed made of pine is layered with wool cushions and handmade quilts. Wicker baskets neatly store wooden toys, offering warmth and charm to the uncluttered design while keeping the playful atmosphere light and soothing. The reading nook sits in a dormer window framed with built-in shelving holding books and pottery. A cushioned bench in soft charcoal linen invites rest, topped with pale knitted throws. Natural light cascades through, casting shadows across textures and metals, creating an intimate space for quiet moments of retreat. The loft offers airiness with pale beams and layered woven rugs underfoot. A muted beige Scandinavian sofa anchors the space, paired with vintage poufs in weathered leather. Low shelves hold pottery in earthy hues, while skylights shift the light throughout the day, enhancing its retreat-like atmosphere of peace. The laundry room balances utility with rustic charm, featuring pale cabinetry and a stone countertop in gray. A farmhouse sink shines under brass taps, with linen curtains concealing storage. Wicker baskets brimming with folded textiles rest atop a wooden bench, transforming everyday routines into moments of order and grace. The sunroom glows with floor-to-ceiling windows framing garden views. White rattan armchairs softened with striped linen cushions circle a round oak table, crowned with greenery in a ceramic vase. Light bounces across glass and woven textures, filling the room with airy elegance and a soothing sense of harmony. The patio extends naturally with flagstone flooring leading to teak furniture cushioned in neutrals. Lanterns in aged brass wait for evening, when they cast glowing pools of light. Lavender and rosemary overflow from planters, their fragrance weaving into the atmosphere, blending rustic garden beauty with quiet Scandinavian refinement. The backyard completes the journey, a lush lawn bordered by climbing roses along a weathered wooden fence. A wrought iron bistro set rests beneath a blossoming tree, dappled in shifting shadows. Beyond, raised beds overflow with herbs and wildflowers, creating a pastoral retreat that feels timeless, balanced, and serenely welcoming. Thank you for joining us on this enchanting tour of Scandi-Cozy living infused with vintage details. We hope you found inspiration in every room and corner. Remember to subscribe to Cozy Corner Studio, like this video, and leave a comment sharing which space captured your imagination most.